The agricultural sector, which contributes just 2% to the country's GDP but provides a level of food security, is the first area that will feel the brunt of this new proposed legislation. And the problem is in the definition of expropriation. But why the need to change the existing legislation anyhow?
What's been absent so far has been a general law, what we call a general law of application, which describes the processes that any expropriating authority should follow in order to meet the test of constitutionality. So this law, when it is enacted, will provide that certainty. So I think that, in a sense, everyone will benefit.
But not everyone's convinced.
Could mean that government could bring in all sorts of regulations that basically very negatively impact the value and the use that people can put their property to, but that they would not necessarily be compensated for.
The bill effectively scraps the willing buyer, willing seller approach to land reform.
What is really worrying about the bill is that it will allow the government to take agricultural land in a way that won't actually amount to expropriation. They've put in a definition under which if the state acquires not ownership but custodianship, it won't count as an expropriation at all. If it doesn't count as an expropriation, there's no compensation to be paid.
And again, the Constitution is very clear in this matter. It says that when an expropriation happens for a public purpose or in the public interest, then the market value of the land, the property that is expropriated, is only one of the considerations that should be taken into account.
I do not support it. No, to work for years, very hard, and then all of a sudden, the law comes that your land be taken away. It's not nice to you and your family and your relatives.
This will create huge uncertainty in a sector that's already under pressure.
If you know that there's a real danger that your property may be taken at less than the market value, then you're unlikely to invest in your property, and that is bad for the sector and eventually also bad for food security in this country.
The bill will not only impact the agricultural sector but all property, from residential to commercial and industrial sites. And it's not something potential investors want to hear.
It's creating huge uncertainty as to whether you might be expropriated in the future, because the bill extends far beyond agricultural land. And at the same time, there's another bill waiting in the wings, under which the government plans to take custodianship of all agricultural land.
I think that the constitution in this country is so strong and powerful that that would never be allowed to happen. If they're going to start taking land without expropriation in this country, there will be a huge financial implosion of note. So I don't believe that that's even a factor.
Property is a very emotional issue in South Africa and probably in the rest of the continent as well. And these two pieces of legislation are sending out the wrong messages.
The government needs to work hard in changing the small-scale farmers, especially those people who have shown interest in commercial agriculture. You should support them.
I'm Angelo Coppola for CCTV.